Hi everyone. This is a quick demo of Cloud Transcribe, our SaaS speech-to-text platform. You can basically start your startup SaaS business within just a couple minutes. All you have to do is register with preferred cloud vendor or vendors. It's powered by Amazon Web Services and Google Cloud platforms. They both have speech-to-text services. In Amazon, it's called Cloud Transcribe. In Google, it's basically called Google Speech to Text. There is no specific name. In total, both of them combined supports up to audio files in more than 170 languages and dialects. And if you basically combine both of those APIs or use both vendors, you can transcribe audio in 6 audio formats, as you can see here, in MP3, MP4, WAV, FLAC, OGG, and WEBM. This is the front end of the speech-to-text Cloud Transcribe platform that we created for you. You can use it, you can customize it. It's basically created with standard HTML and CSS. We also provide the SaaS files as well, so you can customize styling files as you prefer. So the link for actual live demo is called cloudtranscribe.berkine.space, but you can also find the link in the description. Entire source code is available in Codecanyon, so you can get it from there and install on any shared hosting, private hosting, whatever you prefer. The requirements are listed in under the documentation. Link is in the product description in Codecanyon as well. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us via comments or in Codecanyon. So let's log in to actually transcribe something. The demo admin credentials and user credentials are already built into the login page. So you can use either admin or just a regular subscriber just to see what's in there. And then use those credentials to log in and check out the demo. So the purpose of this SaaS platform is obviously to allow your users to convert audio files to text, basically extract text from audio files. The audio files limitations are varies based on the cloud vendor. We'll touch this in a second. There is a limitation in terms of the number of hours, and there's a limitation in terms of the audio file size. I'll mention it quickly. So let me go over the demo. So when you log in as an admin, first thing you'll see your admin dashboard is the information in terms of what's currently happening in the entire platform in a nutshell. Number of registered users, subscribers, the income for this particular month or year, the spending, and so on and so forth. Again, the link for the demo is available in the description, so you can take your time and see what data is there. I'll just focus on the key parts here. The first thing is when you convert speech to text, there are 3 options that you'll see. Live transcribe, which basically transcribes while you speak, while you dictate. But this is available only for AWS. So if you enable AWS in the settings, that's basically allows you to transcribe. Just in the demo, this 12 seconds is left on purpose, but in reality, it's unlimited. But be aware that you get charged by cloud vendors per second. So it depends what kind of plan you want to set for your users. But again, you always want to, when you in the SaaS business, obviously you want to put some margin so that it also covers the cost of the service. So let me do some quick demo. Hi there, how are you? One more time, what should I say? Cloud Transcribe is an awesome product. Okay, didn't hear I guess it didn't catch my accent, but that's fine. You can edit from here if you prefer and grab the text. All the results synthesized or transcribed result from the live are stored immediately upon completion of the timing. So you can come back to it later, and also it basically grabs in terms of the duration, gives some meta information in terms of the recorded content. Now you can record in, I think, 11 languages. I mean, not record, but process live speech in 11 languages. Whatever you speak, you can try it here. Again, but just mentioned, this is live transcribe is only available for AWS. If you register if you enable only Google Cloud, then yes, live transcribe will not be available. So the record is transcribe is similar to live, but in this case, you just the name implies just record whatever the text you want. And here it's mixed between AWS. The languages available mixed between AWS and Google. As you can see, Google supports more languages comparing to AWS. So some of them are here, you'll see the duplication, but that's only because both languages are offered by AWS. And the quality varies on several things. First of all, audio quality, and then the length, etc., and the number of channels. For example, Google Cloud does not allow you to upload audio files with two-channel audio files. But that's a limitation of Google Cloud. And also when it comes to the recording, here it's a bit different from live transcribe, so the limitations, hard limitation from the cloud vendors does apply. I'll get back to them in a second when I'll be explaining the speech-to-text configuration in the admin panel. So if I touch the last part, upload and transcribe, here then as the name implies, you have to upload something, audio file in these formats. And again, these formats are very based on the cloud vendor. For AWS, all of them are supported. For Google, it supports only WAV and if I remember correctly, WEBM or FLAC, one of those. But yeah, it's mentioned on the documentation as well. I think someone already transcribed something here, but let me actually do a live demo here while I'll be showing you. Just a small file. The language is in English. Speaker identification, there is no need. Oh, by the way, in terms of speaker identification, couple of words. All of the voices from AWS do support, the languages do support speaker identification. So you can identify who is the speaker by putting the numbers like speaker 1 or speaker 2, etc., up to 5 speakers. The results will be basically split based on the speaker. Now, the reason why there's only limitation of the 5 to 5 speaker, that's a hard set limitation by Google. AWS supports up to 10 speakers, but we took the minimal one so that it will be valid for both vendors. You can also group them by creating a project. So that's under this project, all of the results can be found when you go to your transcribe projects page, my transcribe projects page. You can immediately see there under whatever the project you set. So I've uploaded the file and then select the language and then click transcribe. What it does, first it will upload to Amazon S3 bucket, and the first thing, it will be in the progress state, and on the back end of the script, there's a cron task is running, which pulls the results. Now, in my case, due to the limitation of the hosting platform, the cron task runs every 5 minutes. But if your hosting allows, try to set it as minimal as you can, because the results, depending on the file size, are transcribed super fast. But then again, it's just don't need to wait extra minutes to pull the results. It definitely improves the user experience so that the user doesn't need to wait longer than needed. And the next ones are in terms of the results, so you can see all the results that were uploaded. Again, the script is publicly available, which means everybody's using it for demo purposes. And for example, if I click on any one of them, what's this? And this one was uploaded by someone. Just let's see the result. So as you can see, you can hear.
Record your message at the tone. Press any key or stop talking to end the recording.
Hey, this is Joe. Just testing transcription. Thanks. Bye.
That's basically the results of the transcribe. And again, I didn't upload this audio file. It was recorded or uploaded by someone who was testing it. Now we will see our file just in a second. The next thing I want to show you is in terms of the other features, especially the billing part. Now, what users are charged for. But before this, let me touch on the configuration part because that will be useful. So in the configuration part, you can set the maximum audio file size, and the limitation is for AWS, the file size cannot be more than 2 GB, and for AWS, for Google, there is no limitation. For Google, the limitation comes to the audio length, same as in for AWS as well. So for example, for AWS, it is up to 4 hours in terms of the audio length. But again, you don't need to forget about the file size, which is up to 2 GB. And those are hard limitations set by AWS. For Google, there is no limitation on the file size, but the file length cannot exceed 8 hours. So that's pretty decent length. You can also set it just show list which audio files formats you want to support. These are the max 6 that can be supported, and here's some instruction in terms of which vendor supports what. You can delete it or leave one, just up to you. Again, you can set different length for recording and file transcribe and different length, audio length for the live transcribe. And also they differ between standard users, which are non-subscribers, and subscribers, including admins. So that's some explanation here as well. You can enable or disable displaying cloud vendor logo. In the language, if you remember, there was a small icon of the vendor, AWS and GCP. You can hide it if you want. So that your users will not see any other cloud vendors than apart your own logo. Speaker identification, you can enable or disable feature. And again, this is, just to repeat myself, it's supported mainly by AWS. Some of the Google languages do support, and it's dynamically enabled or disabled based on which language you set. So if you selected Google language and you don't see the speaker identification feature, then it means it's not supported. So we took care of this one for you. You can give free minutes to your users, and don't forget, so basically even if you are giving it free to your users, you are actually charged by a cloud vendor for these free minutes. Both AWS and Google, they do give you free speech to text minutes during their trial periods. For Google, that's up to 60 minutes. That for AWS, it's the same, up to 6 minutes. Here you have to set the AWS settings for if you want to use the AWS languages for converting speech to text. The instructions are provided in our documentation, step-by-step instructions. All you have to do is create AWS IAM roles with proper IAM policies with proper permissions, and that's it. And then set up the bucket correctly so that it will be publicly available. Same goes for Google. Instructions are provided in the documentation, how to enable speech-to-text feature, how to configure it, and how to configure especially Google storage bucket, which is also important if you want to use Google. The default languages in terms of for the record and transcribe and live transcribe can be set at the admin level. In this case, all the new registered users will have them by default, but they can also change it in their profile settings. Let me just quickly show it here. So under your profile, you can see your current utilization. So for example, as you can see, this demo mostly was used for live transcribe features, total minutes used, etc. So if you edit profile, that's where you can edit the default language and both for record and transcribe and live transcribe for yourself, and then set default project as well or create a new one as you prefer. Now let's go to the one of the important parts in terms of the how to generate revenue, how to how basically your users can subscribe. Here is the month. You can set two types of plans, monthly plan and prepaid plan. Monthly plan is basically a monthly subscription. In the near future, we also create update for yearly subscriptions. And you can, at any given time, you can only select until one, subscribe to only one plan. But if you're running out of credits that are provided with this particular plan that you're subscribed, you can always top up with additional minutes if you get a prepaid plan. Now, this Laravel script supports 11 10 or 11 payment gateways. 4 of them are dedicated for only prepaid subscription plans, and all 11 can be used. I don't remember exact number. All 10, 11 can be used for prepaid option. So they start from popular PayPal, Stripe, and so on, and also included cryptocurrency payment with Coinbase Commerce. You can also accept offline payments. So just to give you an idea how it works. So for example, if user wants to purchase 10 minutes, all he or she just needs to select what kind of payment they want to go with. So if it's a Stripe, so upon checkout, it will redirect me to the Stripe checkout page. PayPal checkout page. With Stripe, you just need to enter your credit card details. Bank information is offline. Coinbase goes directly to Coinbase, Molly, and so on and so forth. So you can also track as a user what's been your current utilization, how much you're spending on this platform, your past payments. As I said, you can get unlimited prepaid plans at any given time. The credits do not expire when the month ends. It will stay on your account. On user's account. If users have any questions or doubts, they can create support requests, and they also receive notifications in terms of if admin decides to send mass notification, that's where they'll see it. Now going back to the admin panel, so we touched speech-to-text configuration. In the dashboard part, you see a bit more detail comparing to the main dashboard in terms of the split between the actual utilization of AWS languages versus Google languages when it comes to the converting speech to text. And then how many free minutes were used or the paid minutes were used, etc. So you get all this nice split. So you are getting some analytic information, which is helpful. You can see all the results of file and record transcribe tasks. Oh, by the way, I forgot about our task. I think this was, when was the time? Yeah, I think this is ours. Yep. So it is, it did transcribe it correctly. You can see it from here as well. We uploaded to the we uploaded the upload and transcribes. First, let's listen to the audio.
Cloud Transcribe Speech to Text is an awesome software as a service platform that you can start in just a few minutes.
And if you want to see the result transcript, that's platform that is not just, as you can see, it transcribed it correctly 100%. Some additional beneficial information, and you can listen from here or from there, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so let's go to the admin panel again. You can also configure languages in terms of, let's say you want to use both AWS and Google for transcribing audio files, but you don't want to show, let's say if there's 2 languages are supported by both vendors, you don't want to show them both of them, you want to show one of them. For example, let's suppose Afrikaans, there are 2 versions, one from AWS, one from Google. Let's say one works better than the other, you can just disable it from here and do that for the rest as well, as you prefer. Any language can be enabled or disabled. You can also rename the language. For example, if you don't like the way it's written, you can just put whatever you prefer. So in the user management, there's some general information in terms of from where people are logging. So I included this just for awareness purposes. In the future, we will also include Google support for Google Analytics, so you can track the live everyday usage of the entire platform. Now on the users list, in the users list, you will see all of your registered users, whether they are active, and then how much balance they have left, how many minutes they left. You can also add credits to them. Credits by meaning the extra minutes, so you can add hundreds or thousands of minutes as you prefer. Without any subscription or purchasing prepaid plans, that will be purely up to you. And you can also change the user settings in terms of making it active, suspend it, deactivate their account, delete their account, or change the user group. Now in the finance part, which is important as well, you get more insights in terms of your income and then spending. Spending also can be split between AWS and GCP, so you get to see. One thing to note is we don't take into consideration the free tiers. So even if you see here some billing, it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be charged. It's basically uh, the that doesn't include your free tier, so it is just for information purposes. As the name implies, it's just estimate. Just to give you an idea, this demo has been running for 6 months, and as you can see, there are thousands of people are using and testing it. Our monthly bill so far was zero. So we never paid for speech to text service. It's always under free tier, at least so far. Then you can see all payments made by your customers, their number of subscribers. You can create subscription plan. Now there will be a separate instruction of how to create subscription plans because you do need something important is, as I mentioned earlier, 4 payment gateways do support subscription plans, monthly subscription plans, but you have to generate plan ID and then product IDs from your respective payment gateway. And we'll provide some instructions for this if you're not familiar. Now there's some additional benefits for you. So integrated promo codes, which are valid only for prepaid plans, referral system, where if then you have a couple options there to reward your existing users to bring in new customers. One is for each registration you can give extra minutes as you prefer, and then you can also provide some percentage of the commission of the customer's first payment. That whoever was referred, whenever they make first payment or every payment, you can provide some percentage as a commission. In the payment settings, that's where you configure all your payment gateways as you prefer. You can enable for prepaid plan option or for just subscription payment option. And don't forget, you can either create subscription plan or prepaid plan or both of them. So you're not required to choose, well, you're not required to create both of them at the same time. It can be one of them or both of them. So there's a full flexibility. Now in the general settings, that's pretty much clear in terms of the what as the name implies. Couple things to note here, for example, in the registration settings, some people confuse it. You can enable email verification, but to make sure that this actually works, you first need to set up your SMTP settings and make sure that these settings are accurate and actually working. The invoice settings is also something that you need to set up so that whenever someone makes a purchase, the invoice is generated automatically. You can change language, Spanish, French, that's as demos that we included, but there are instructions in documentation which allows you to translate to any language as you prefer. Well, that's it. Short demo in terms of the Cloud Transcribe, our SaaS speech-to-text platform, which is available in Codecanyon. Again, all the links are in the description. You can download the source code from Codecanyon as well. If you have any questions, let us know in comments or reach out to us in Codecanyon. Thank you.